Right, so when you want to go touring, what's the first thing you're going to want to put on your bike? A top box. So on my old bike, which is my KTM, I already bought a top box, and it was this one, and it's by SHAD, and it's a great top box. I spent quite a lot of money on it. It's got the little pads on it. It's expandable. It opens and closes. It's about 300 quid plus a plate and other bits and pieces to go on the bike. So I thought, well, when I sold my bike, I thought I'll keep that and I'll buy a SHAD mount, which is in this box, to go on my brand new X ADV 750. So I plan to see if I can attach it to the bike. This is going to be my third modification. I've already fitted my Beeline Moto 2 and the Honda heated grips, which you can't tell because they look exactly like the standard ones, apart from there's a little cable there. So this is the third thing I'm going to do to sort of get myself touring ready. Right, without any further ado. Right, okay, so after a lot of shenanigans, I think we can install this. And the way to do it, I think, is as follows. So drop that into place. You want to take the smaller of the spacers. You have to cut this bolt down by about 5 mil. So get your 2 spacers lined up in there. Drop your bolt down. Hopefully get that thread in. Please work. I've got to say, this has been a really horrible experience. But I believe that actually this part number is not necessarily for this model of 2025 model. I think it is from the previous one, and I suspect that that's why we're having a little bit of a problem lining things up. It might be that the bike is ever so slightly different. But we're nearly there, I think. That's 2. Now we leave out these 2 big spacers. If we put those in, we can't shut the back. And I think what we need then is a washer underneath at either side. So one there and one there. Then we can drop that down. Now I think these are going to be too long. Straight away I get that vibe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch 2 of the bolts from the original setup and go in with those. And I already know that they're a different head size to the other bolts, so that's going to be annoying. So that's one size up. I think we're on a 6 now. Oh, what a horrible job. And it's not over yet. I still think this bolt's going to be too long. If that was possible. I'll come way over this way, so much so that I almost don't think I can get it there. There we go. That's that one. Back around here for the final one. Please work. So, holy moly, what a horrible job. Yes. Yes, we're in. So, it's not over yet. It could still go horribly wrong. Talk to settings. Please work. Oh, yes. Yes. I'll tell you what, off camera, that was a shenanigans. Now, the problem I had was, this is the plate where the lockbox locks into, and it could go here, but then it's too close to the rider, to the passenger rather. So what I did was I made this nice little plate up, and the way it fits will be, it goes on here like so. I can take the top box. With some luck, I've still got the key for it in my pocket somewhere. I do. Unlock that. Slide it on. And finally, we have got the top box on the back of the 2025 Honda X ADV. And the best thing about this SHAD box, I'll just pop you there, is that not only is it already big, but it also extends, and it's then massive. So it's a huge top box on the back of the 2025 Honda X ADV 750. Finally, I'm quite happy with the end result of that, and I think you'll agree that it looks quite nice on there. That's the way things are going to look. Now, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. And if this was any help to you, then I'm glad I went through the pain of installing it. But now I've got a top box ready for my tour, which is in about 5 days' time. Thanks for watching. Right, we have got some destructions with this particular model. I'll pop them up there on the table. So it says, open the seat, take them off, fit that with the bolts this way round, close that, and that's it. Now, what I've noticed is, I've had this out for a little dry run, and the way it comes out of the box is with this sort of plate, and this plate doesn't correspond to this plate, and that plate there is the one that the top box slides onto. So I've had a look on the website and basically cannot find a plate that goes in between the two. So off camera, let me just place that precariously there on the seat. Off camera, I have made this plate out of an offcut of stainless steel. The 4 big holes were already in it, so we'll have to forget about those. And then the 6 holes I've made myself. And I painted it black. Nearly dropped it. Painted it black. 3 coats of paint on there. And so, yeah, we're going to give it a go. Chuck you up on the tripod. And as I say, I've sort of had a bit of a dry run at this. All the builders are coming home. There's a builder's yard next door, so they're going to make lots of noise on the video and ruin it for me. So, in the packet, we get a little packet of bolts. Let's get this out of the way. More builders. Let's get my bolts out. So, pop that over here so it doesn't blow away in the wind. So the first thing we need to do is pop the trunk and open that up. Just check that you can still see. Yes, you can. And so, because I've already had a little go at this, I already know, there are 4 little plastic grommets that they pop into the tops, the heads of the bolts. So we'll whip them out first. Quite easy. So there you go, these are the 4 little caps. 2 big ones and 2 small ones. So we'll put them out of the way for the minute. And then we're going to use a 6mm Allen key. And I think the easiest way to do this is with an ugger dugger. So that's that loosened off. Get my tool back out of there. So that's the left hand grip off. We're not going to reuse the bolts, so I can leave them with it. 1 and 2. That's the right hand one off. Now the next stage is to work out the order of bolts. So it says we've got 4. So we've got 4 smaller spacers, 2 larger ones, and 6 washers, plus 4 bolts. And the bolts are, let's see what size they are. They're smaller. I think they're going to be a 5mm. Yes, they're a 5mm. So what it says is we have to have 2 so we're going to go this way, obviously, and then 2 smaller bolts, not bolts, 2 smaller spacers go up and underneath here. This is where I think it's going to start getting a bit fiddly. So that's that one. Easy enough. We'll just get that lined up. Perhaps get it in there. Yeah, that's that one. 2 more on one of those. Let's go around this side of the bike. Yes, here comes the time when it's tricky. I think this will be the worst bit. Possibly. Maybe the back ones are also going to be awkward. Yeah, see? Because you can't necessarily get that over that lip. It's very windy today, so I hope that there's not too much background noise. Whoa. So, as I say, I did a dry run with this, but I didn't use any of these spacers, so hopefully it won't take me too long. But part of doing this is so that other people can see how easy or difficult these kind of things are, because sometimes people are afraid to do these things themselves. Okay. Now there is some sort of tension on this, so I'm having to pull it across. You see that? Okay, now they're just in a few turns. Now it says a washer and then a spacer and then a washer on top. So a washer on the bottom, then a spacer. Pop that there, that was handy. Oh look, maybe we can do this all in one go. A washer, then a spacer, and then a washer and a spacer. Now, if I'm lucky, I've been lucky on that one. And then this is the worst one, I think, because it really doesn't line up that well. It's quite difficult to get that in without any of these spacers the first time when I did my dry run. Oh. So that's through there, that's through there. And then I kind of need to pull that over. Don't know how far before I can find the thread. I think we're in. I hope so. Now I'm going to use Ugga Dugger and just sort of pinch them up a bit. So what I've noticed is that the ones at the front, they're as tight as they can be, and yet there's still a gap. So, yeah, that's interesting. Let's remove this one completely. And there's two spacers in there. I'll take them out as well so I don't lose them. Oh! And then let's take a look. There's a considerable difference in length on these bolts. So I'm going to go with one original and try that. He says. So, got the two little spaces in there. Now I'm feeling like that isn't enough. Isn't long enough. So I'm going to go with one spacer then, perhaps. Now, I think it should fit. Let's try one last time. As I say, it's difficult because you have to kind of manipulate this around a bit to find the right location. There it is. I think it will go once I've loosened up this side. And what I'm going to do, so I don't want to thread anything, so I'm going to use a screwdriver. Now we're back to the next size up. 6mm again. No, I'm not keen on that. One spacer only. Living is learning. No, so with the one spacer, looks like we're going to clash with the bodywork of the bike, unfortunately, so that it can't be that way. So we have a problem. Definitely shows on the picture 2 spacers, then this part, then a washer. So that is right, but seems to be a big gap. Underneath. Very interesting, eh? These problems that you find when you're doing these things. See, that is the end, and there's still enough room. Probably could have put a 3rd spacer in there before that will do up. It's a bit of a shame. So I'll have to have a think about this. So after a fair bit of messing around, I ended up cutting the top or the end off of the 2 bolts. Now I'm going to try and see if I can get them to go in. So it's looking good. That one's done. So if we had the right size bolts in the first place, it would have been a lot easier, wouldn't it? So this is the tricky bit, getting these up in there. Especially now, there's almost no room left. We have to undo that one. Now I wonder if I can slide these in. No. Well, I'm happy it came out underneath. Imagine that if it got lost in there somewhere. So now we're getting really tricky. Yeah. I'm at a loss how to slide them in there. Very difficult. Eek. How do other people do this, I wonder? Maybe there's a trick to it that I don't know about. I'm thinking it's always difficult to do this kind of thing on a camera because you're constantly aware that people will just lose interest and turn it off. But it's part of the process. Oh no, we did lose one. Right, we might have to come back to this. I think maybe they both fell out of the bottom. I don't think they did though. After losing one of these washers down the inside of the bike and retrieving it, we're back in action with a new plan. I'm going to put these washers on my magnet like that, like so, and then hopefully poke that up there without losing them. Again, what a nightmare. Now I don't think the magnet fits. It does. Okay, now we've just got to get the magnet out. Easier said than done. Oh, it works. Wow. Didn't expect that to happen. Right, we're back in action, people. I hope. Now, it's once again trying to find that locating. Okay, we're actually there after all of that faffing about. So, bike back up on the centre stand. Which luckily is quite easy. Grab the Ugga Dugger. So at this stage, this has all took a lot longer than it needed to, in my opinion. Torque these up to spec. There we go. Special torque setting. Finally those bolts fit. Perfect. Do the seat checking test. Ha! It's not very good, is it? After all that faffing about, it doesn't fit. Useless. So I'm going to go with removing the two big spaces at the back here. So this rack is not actually originally for this year bike. So this could be one of the reasons why we're having a bit of an issue getting things in and on and up. So luck would have it, I think we're going to get that out of there. Maybe I can utilise my trusty magnet once again. Yes, I can. What a faff, eh? So if you buy a 2025 X ADV and want to fit this rack, and I will include the part number in it in the video somewhere. Of course, we're missing a washer now. Oh no. This is not going to plan at all. Oh, what a mission. What a horrible, horrible mission. No, it's no good. We're going to have to go out and out. What a nightmare. And of course, they've gone bye-byes down inside the frame, along with the other stuff. What a shocker. They're somewhere inside there now. Ah, Jesus.